action.
Hello everyone, Workshop Diary today, and we're going to talk a little bit about this spur and this particular spur bike here. This particular bike has been with Paul Aston for a review. Paul Aston runs a review kind of website, but he does it in a different way. He actually buys bikes and tests them and tries to get rid of all, understand it, rather than reviewing a bike that he's told to review. He picks the ones he wants to review and he tries to find out all the bugs and errors in them. So he had our Spur gearbox bike. He had it for a few months and he kind of loved it. But he also had a few issues. So I'm kind of here to address the issues that he had in a little bit of defensive styling really, and what we do. So first of all, spur frame, gearbox, 170 front and rear, and he absolutely loved the bike. He loved the suspension in particular. So it's sort of a semi-high pivot, linear leverage ratio, relatively long chain stays, and his comment was it's got the best rear suspension of any bike he's ever ridden, and he compared it to downhill bikes he's ridden, better than downhill bikes. So he absolutely loved the way it rode. But he did have a few issues. First of all, the Öhlins fork he got supplied, it was a sort of pre-production fork, and it had a few issues, and it had to get repaired under warranty. The Effigear gearbox. So Effigear gearbox is a fantastic product, but recently we've had quite a few QC problems with their quality control issues with their gearboxes. The batch we received for our Spur production frames had a lot of issues. 4 of 8 gearboxes had to go back. So Effigear on top of it now, they're trying to improve, but Paul's bike, the gearbox failed on it. We've had other customers' bikes. We've actually, for this particular reason, we've stopped supplying the Spur bike now until Effigear can get on top of their quality control. But another issue Paul had was he did, as he's done with every single bike he's ridden, he put a crack in it. So we've had these Spur frames, we've had 2 demo or prototype bikes riding around for 2 years. They've been ridden really hard. Rob, one of the blokes who owns the first prototype, he's a big old bloke. He's like 120 kilos. He's a fast rider. He's ridden it, no issues at all. I've had a prototype bike. I've been riding it for nearly 2 years now, riding it hard, no issues at all. The production batch all went out. There were 8 production bikes or 9 production bikes that went out to customers. 4 of them have developed a little crack. So I contacted all the customers. 3 of the customer bikes that had gone out had also developed what looked like a little crack. So we got those back in and inspected them. In fact, of those 3, none of them had cracks in the metal, but all of them had small little cracks in the paint, which does suggest ultimately the metal would go. But I suppose this is where Starling is different to other brands. So if we were another brand and we'd got all our bikes made in Taiwan, we would just pull another bike off the shelf and send it off to the customer and say, right, you've got a warranty frame. But we can't do that. We do small batch production, and we don't want to do that either. So we've got all the frames back from customers, inspected them, and we've actually repaired them. So what we've done is we've put a reinforcement plate over the area where the crack had developed, and to me that will be strong enough. It's going to be plenty strong enough going forward. So this is one of the customer frames. We've done that repair. We've repowder coated it for him. He actually wanted a change in colour. He's got it in his own paint, and that will go back out to him. So it's very annoying for the customer. Yes, they have to wait 3 or 4 weeks for us to do that work, but it means we're not scrapping a frame. We're not wasting all the material and effort that's gone into that frame. To me, that's the right solution, to keep things going, to prolong things. That's why we have steel frames. They can be repaired. We can do this. Paul was less happy, but in the end, we've got his bike back. We've repaired it for him. We've rebuilt it into a full bike for him. It's kind of what do you want from your brand, I suppose. Do you want us to be able to help you and repair that way, or do you want us to just send you another one? If we just sent you another one, it would have the same problems as the first one and probably crack down the line anyway. There's stories of people. I know somebody who's had 6 of a particular frame that's cracks, and he's repaired his cracks. They've sent him a warranty. He's cracked. He's sent him a warranty again and again. We don't want to do that. So There were another couple of little minor issues. I think Paul didn't like the eccentric dropout design, and the cutaway on it was catching the wheel as he was loading it, but that's easy to resolve, and that's learning to us. Again, in doing small batch production, we can refine these things and change them very quickly and easily. Bike is here. It's now actually being advertised. Paul's doing an auction to win this bike. Best riding bike in the world. It's been repaired. It'll have full warranty. It is an amazing bike. So go and buy yourself a ticket and try and win it. But hopefully that explains to you all just a little bit of the background behind what's going on. But I hope that's good. Obviously, send me any questions. Let me know all your thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts on my philosophy behind this. That would be interesting. But bye.